Science is the lifeblood of the biopharmaceutical industry, but science does not stand by itself. It is driven by people who think and act differently to change what is commonplace and to drive progress. The editorial mission of Pharm Executive magazine is to keep that focus on real people, on the people in this industry who discover new medicines, ensure their safety, and communicate their value to providers, payers, and patients. Since 2007, Pharm Exec has produced an annual list of what we call the emerging pharma leaders. These are men and women under the age of 45 from diverse backgrounds, functions, and geographies. In 6 years, we have built a network of over 200 talented decision makers, again, all under the age of 45. Each has a record of managing teams the way Big Pharma gets things done. We look for our emerging leaders to demonstrate 5 characteristics of leadership. The first is expertise, or technical capacity in and across functions. The second is experience, or knowledge that generates insights on the business. Curiosity, the ability to adapt and to integrate new ideas from different places. Commitment, the kind of focused, passionate behavior that helps organizations execute well. And character, which is all about self-awareness, trust, and your personal impact on the community of others. Now, our choices for this list are entirely our own. We review recommendations made through a special dedicated website, members of our editorial advisory board, and external friends and advisors. There is no pay to play. Advertisers and companies do not influence our selections. What I like most about this effort is how it serves as an indicator of trends in management priorities and the basic culture of the biopharma workplace. Earlier lists anticipated the rise of new strategic functions like supply chain management, market access, compliance, and chief information officer in the C-suite. Our selections also track our industry's gradual acceptance of leadership diversity, with the growing representation of women countered by a still rather sketchy rate of progress among minorities. The 15 executives on this year's emerging leader list share one thing in common: a tougher business environment, where growth is fleeting, never a given, always contested. No leader can depend on the easy surplus from earlier times to carry their careers forward. Instead, they must steer their own way through an obstacle course of opposites, one that we describe as growing to get small. It's all about expanding the business while avoiding bloat, the traditional byproduct of success, staying externally focused, eliminating internal barriers to faster decision-making, collaborating with others to defray risk, getting close to the customer, who often wears many hats, and creating dominant therapy positions in multiple niche markets that, when you combine those niche markets, produce equivalent blockbuster results at lower fixed costs and less hassle. Now, the search for commercial models that make sense in this new world of work is reflected in the backgrounds of our 2013 class of leaders. They include, for example, line executives from generic medicines and vaccines to adjacent business units that have emerged as key sources of product and process innovation. Several of our winners have roles that reflect the growing importance of knowledge retention throughout the organization, talent development. Other recipients hold positions that reflect the need for active collaboration between R&D and commercial product teams at the earliest stage of the development cycle. And finally, in an industry where customer insight is still in short supply, we are finding more leaders carry valuable outside exposure to the consumer retail trade, where every transaction with the customer has to be earned and relearned over and over again. Our latest issue of Pharm Exec has in-depth background profiles of each of our 15 leaders. They share with us their perspectives on what they've learned in climbing the corporate ladder, and also insights from their own personal journey. What this younger generation thinks the pharma future will look like is important, And the skills that will count the most in delivering career success is another focus. For details, I urge you to take a look at our July issue in print and online at pharmexec.com. Feel free to contact us for suggestions for new candidates from different backgrounds that deserve to be recognized by our 95,000 readers and viewers. I'm Bill Looney, editor of PharmExec. And yes, PharmExec is a brand, but remember, so too are you. Let us help you build that personal brand with the insights and information you can only get from PharmExec.